This is one of the reusable coffee pods. It's made of stainless steel and this capsule has holes at both ends. And with this type you can screw the top off. And this capsule is slightly smaller. Now you can see this compared to a normal coffee pod. Here's the range of normal coffee pods I have. But for the reusable coffee pod we're going to add some beans and grind them up. It says to use a medium to fine grind. I'm going to place the grounded coffee into the capsule, fill it up to the top. Then I'm going to use the stainless steel tamper that comes with it to press that down. And for my first attempt, I'm going to have this filled up right to the top of the capsule. And we'll have a look to see what sort of coffee we get. As I'm pressing the coffee in, I'm trying to make sure it's even. And I find you don't need to press down too hard using the tamper. You can buy this as a single or a double. Now I'm going to use the brush that's included to remove the coffee that's in the thread so that I can then screw on the top. There's many different models of reusable pods and some do not include the tamper. Make sure to check if the reusable pod can be used in your machine, as certain pods will only work in certain machines, so make sure you read all the information. I find this pod is harder to press down when using the lever. Now I'll press the espresso button and see what we get. Now on this first attempt I notice there's not much crema on the coffee, the bubbles that are on top, and it fills to pretty much bang on 35 ml. Now you can see the difference on the front and back on the reusable pod compared to a normal pod. Now removing the top, I can show you what the coffee looks like. I had to scrape the coffee granules out and wash it. With the leftover grounded coffee, I put it in this pot. Then I have a second go, but I'm going to leave a couple of mil gap at the top, so it's not filled right to the top of this capsule. Then we'll try this process again. Now for me this is a lot of extra steps to take before and after having a coffee, so it makes me wonder if I'll actually use it. It's so easy just to use a normal coffee pod. Have your coffee and then just throw the pod away afterwards. But this is a way to avoid all the plastic, and it gives you the option to use whatever coffee you want, and not being limited to the coffee that you can buy that comes in the pods already. And knowing that you could get a reusable pod helped me make the decision in buying the machine in the first place. But after filling the capsule and emptying the capsule, I can really see me just using the normal pods. But my decision may change over time. Leaving a couple of mil from the top has left a better crema this time, and I can see we've ended up with slightly more coffee, so you may need to experiment with it until you get it right. When I make a coffee I tend to make a latte, so I'm going to use this and see how it tastes. I think the coffee that comes out of the reusable pod is just as good as using a normal pod, and I love the taste of the coffee that you can get out of these machines. I like to run water through the machine to clean it after each use. When the coffee machines are wet you have to dig them out. Maybe if you left them to go dry they might come out easier. Then I rinse the capsule. Now I'll show you the process again, but actually using a coffee pod and see if there's any difference.